start for this time to honor that great nation with the playing of our national anthem. If you're able to, we ask you please rise, turn to the north. You will see those beautiful stars and stripes known as our nation's flag. It's time to honor this great nation.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's
Welcome in to Georgetown Ice Arena in Hudsonville, Michigan for a special Division II MHSAA regional semifinal matchup between the home Caledonia Fighting Scots and the visiting Mattawan Wildcats. Both teams warmed up, national anthem played. We are ready to start this game. Starting off for Caledonia. Face-off played by Mattawan into the Caledonia zone, pressured by Supak. Mattawan loses it behind the net. Cal sends it around the far side. Wildcats possession in the corner. Now up the wall with it. Loose in the zone, backhand, clears. Lewandowski chipped around the defender and carries it into the Mattawan zone to delay it offsides. And the Wildcats will regroup it with some time. Now through mid-ice, Mattawan through the middle, loose puck. Played by Camden Quigley. Quigley's tied up, loose to Supak. Supak off the near side wall. Wildcats keep possession in the zone. Point man, shot, knocked down by Sova. Pass into the middle for Mikkelsen. Mattawan chipped out of play for our first whistle and stoppage of play. In goal today for Caledonia, Sam Hogue, the senior. And for, we'll get the Mattawan goaltender's name in a second. Mattawan, face-off, one into the Caledonia zone. Behind the net, Chase Gorby and Evan Moore after it. Up, played out to the point man, a shot in on Hogue, and he gets a glove on it for the whistle, and our first shot on goal. In goal for Mattawan, 0-0, Gavin Weech, the junior goaltender. Face off in the Cal zone. Tied up in the feet, now to the wall. Point man for the Wildcats, off the glass and behind the net. After it, Aiden Eitel, the sophomore from Thornapple Kellogg High School. Played now behind the net. Wildcats first there, near side. Now they'll cycle it back to the far corner. Wildcats up the wall, pass back to the point man. A shot by Lucas Smilanich into the feet. Comes out to the point man. Wildcats a second shot, a save by Hogue. Loose puck and cleared by Evan Moore. Bouncing puck, Esch kicked it ahead. Lucas Smilanich, the sophomore defender for the Wildcats, tied it up into the corner. Esch. Wildcats still with possession. Wildcats through mid-ice. A big hit and an icing whistle. So we'll bring it back. Bring it down to the Wildcat zone for an offensive zone draw. Bryce Mitchell, Landon Moore, Drew Nichols, Gabe Supak, and Camden Quigley out for Caledonia. Face-off played out of the zone. Supak will retreat. Gabe Supak, the junior defender. Pass to Mitchell. Mitchell, cross ice for Quigley. Out of the zone, into neutral. Quigley dumps it in deep. Loose puck near side. Mitchell sweeps it in the corner. Takes a hit. Puck played out by the Wildcats. Held in the zone by Nichols. Nichols half wall, down low, a shot saved by the goaltender. And we'll get a whistle. A slashing call. We'll see who's going to go. I didn't see it. I think it's on the Wildcats. So Caledonia with their first power play of the game here early in the first. Sova on the face-off, Osborne, Lewandowski, Supak, over for Sova. Sova's shot blocked before it reached the goaltender. Puck played up the wall, loose to the middle. Osborne with it, a shot, and that's gloved by the Mattawan goaltender for the whistle. Gavin Weech, the goaltender, Sova on the draw. Bouncing puck. Wildcats trying to clear it off the wall. Knocked down by Supak. Sova knocked down. That's Mikkelsen, William Mela Mikkelsen out there as well. Osborne and Wildcats able to clear the zone on the penalty kill. Supak collects the puck, far side corner, up the wall for Sova. He's run into Wildcats, play it back behind Hogue. Mikkelsen. Now cross ice pass on the tape for Sova. Sova into the zone, plays it in towards on Weech, a save into the corner. Up the wall, Lewandowski. Ty Lewandowski a shot, just wide of net. Sova from the corner. Pass in front for Mikkelsen goes long. Lewandowski out to Supak. Supak a shot, knocked down. Supak gets the rebound. Supak down low with it, a shot, save. Rebound Mikkelsen, and that's saved by Weech. Sova, a slap shot from the point, that goes wide. Held in the zone, shot, and that'll be gloved by Weech in goal for the Wildcats. Caledonia capitalizing on the power play. I feel like I'm doing squats. Wildcats play it out into neutral zone. Evan Moore, the defender, pressures, puck into Hogue, and he'll hold it for the whistle. 30 seconds left in the Caledonia power play. Harmon Esch, the senior. Drew Nichols, the junior. Rylan Bultema, senior. Bryce Mitchell and Evan Moore on the power play. Harmon Esch behind the goal, leaves it for Mitchell. Mitchell, the speedster, sends a pass cross ice for Nichols. Nichols drives it in, takes a hit. Puck goes into the corner. Loose to Moore at the point. Moore a shot, save off a skate and cleared by the Wildcats. Hogue settles it for Moore. Evan Moore behind the net, leaves it for Esch. And we're back to full strength. Esch chips around one, drives it in. Esch down low with it. Esch shoots, and he scores! Harmon Esch gets Cal on the board early. You're good, you're good. You're good. Harmon Esch, the senior, low red arrow, starts the scoring off for Cal here early in the first. Wildcats win the draw. Puck played in neutral zone. Landon Moore, the junior, played into the corner. Supak guides it around the far side. Up the wall for Lewandowski in the feet. Wildcats keep it in the zone. Delayed offsides. Now Supak will collect it. He's got some room to move it out. Supak leaves it near side for Landon Moore. Played back in by the Wildcats. Stopped by Quigley. Cleared the zone. Landon Moore at the wall. Moore with a stick on it. Loosens it for Sova. Sova drives it in. Pressure in his pocket. Into the corner. Oh, and a collision there on the net. That net comes off. And we get a stoppage in play. Face-off played behind the net. After it's Mikkelsen, far corner. Oh, penalty now on Caledonia. Esch is going to go for an interference call or a hook call. So Caledonia goes on their first penalty kill. Defensive zone draw, 5-on-4. Sova with possession, turns, can't clear it. Wildcats with possession. Pass out to the top of the zone. Now near side. Now back to the top of the circle, a shot knocked down by Supak. Supak after it, and that's cleared into neutral zone. Wildcats knocked it down. So it didn't go the full length, but they'll carry it behind their own goal. Now they'll carry it out near side. Far side pass connects. Taken away by Lewandowski, puts the backhand in deep. Wildcats break it out on the power play through neutral zone. Far side, Caledonia into the corner. Wildcats behind the net, near side. Trying to find an open man, now back out to the point. Down low behind the end line. Wildcats knocked down by Supak. Supak's gonna wrestle it away. Held up at the wall, Nichols in to help. Tied up, Wildcats with a stick on it, Nichols, and now Mitchell clears the zone. Wildcats will have to check up on the offsides. That was an offsides call. Loose puck and bouncing. Evan Moore, the defender, trying to tie it up. Taken away by the Wildcats. Near side half wall. Now a pass on the doorstep, saved by Hogue. Wildcats send it back near side. Point man, top of the zone. 30 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Scots. Wildcats passing, shot knocked down before it reached Hogue. Nichols after it, Moore's there, gets a stick on it and clears the zone. Wildcats take possession at the red line. Pass goes long. Cal gets some fresh legs out there. Mattawan with possession, driven in, a shot over the net. Quigley, far side, tried to tie the man up. Puck on the wall. Wildcats, Evan Moore with it, sends it deep, caught at mid-ice, and we get a high stick call. High stick touch call on the Wildcats. Caledonia killed the first penalty. Both teams 1 for 1 on the penalty kill so far here in the first. Cal leads 1-0 with 9:49 in the first. Puck played top of the zone. Wildcats carry it out. Wildcats into the corner with it. Pressured by Attell. Pass in the middle of Quigley. And it's sent behind. Mattawan point man holds it in. Shot over the net. Mattawan near side. Hit by Quigley. Loose behind the net for Attell. Feathers it up the wall looking for Lewandowski. Played back by the Wildcats. Quigley's got it. Off the wall for Bultema. Chipped in deep off the defender. Lewandowski's there behind the net. Lewandowski goes down but gets it to Bultema. Puck loose at the point. Sova put a shot that got knocked down. Lewandowski with a shot. And that one saved. Almost snuck in under the pad of the Mattawan goaltender. Gorby, Mikkelsen, Esch up front, Veliska and Supak on defense. Face-off goes to the back line. Mattawan loose on the far wall. Esch ties it up. Mattawan, though, with a stick on it, clears it. Pass to the near side. Supak's after it. Mattawan plays it in deep. Zach Veliska, the freshman defender, behind the net. Plays it back to the near side for Esch. Harmon Esch, the goal scorer. Esch keeps possession. Nice move. Gets around two. Drives it ahead. Esch into the zone. Puts it to Mikkelsen. Pushed into the wall by the Wildcats. They cleared into the corner. Now up the wall. Cleared out of the zone, but put back in by Veliska. Veliska battling there at the blue line. Wildcats take possession. Mid-ice. Picked off by Gorby. Gorby dumps it in deep. Cal gets some fresh legs. Osborne, Mitchell up front, along with Nichols. Wildcats with possession in their own zone, taken away by Mitchell. Osborne there as well, in the feet. Loose, Wildcats muscle it out. Osborne, pass back to Moore. Moore off the near side wall for Nichols, played back by the Wildcats. Moore holds it there. Back to Nichols. Wildcats pass, picked off by Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell drives it through neutral zone. Mitchell takes it wide. Mitchell down low with it. behind the net, on the forehand, tried to center it, deflected up in the air. Nichols in the corner, up the wall, pass out to the point, Itel, plays it back into the far corner. Wildcats wrap it around the wall, held up at the wall. Moore from the point position, plays it off the wall, looking for Nichols. Nichols, pass over for Osborne, off his stick and into the wall. Now played behind the net. Boltema after it. Now the Wildcats able to skate it out to the far side, and they'll dump it in. Sova from the corner, played it up the wall. Wildcats bang it back in deep. Sova with a stick on it. Lewandowski out to Boltema, off his stick. Played by the Wildcats defense, but picked up by Sova. Sova pushed it to the middle. Lewandowski gets possession. Lewandowski a shot, and that's gloved for the whistle. Sova, Lewandowski, Boltema, Supak, and Quigley. Cal with the draw shot just wide by Lewandowski. Wildcats have room. They'll move it out. Pass in the middle, deflected. Icing's waved off. Deep, Quigley in the corner. Quigley kept it up the far wall. Lewandowski, off his stick. Played by the point man, a shot in on Hogue, and he'll hold for a whistle. Gorby on the draw. Played by the Wildcats, a shot in on Hogue. And he's there for the save. Face off into the wall. Wildcats into the corner. Gorby pressuring. Loose for Quigley. Takes it away. Quigley's got some room. Pass up on the tape for Mikkelsen. He's pushed into the wall. Wildcats with possession. Gorby pressures. Wildcats to the near side. Landon Moore with a hit. Goes behind the net. Mikkelsen's there. Mikkelsen tried to center it. Wildcats take possession. Far side wall. Into the neutral zone. Pass picked off by Gorby. Played into the near wall. Wildcats dump it in deep. Hogue stops it. Supak skates in. Plays it to the far corner now, sends it back near side. Landon Moore. His pass through the air, and icing should be whistled there. So 5:37 left in the first. Nichols on the draw, tied it up. Loose for Itel in the corner. Wildcats pressuring. Wildcats now played out. Osborne. Osborne, pass over for Moore. Moore had it picked off. Wildcats played in the zone. Itel was there. Puts a backhand near side. Bryce Mitchell can't settle it down. Played in deep by the Wildcats. Deflected by Moore into Hogue. Moore behind the net for Itel. Itel, long range pass kicked by Osborne. And the Wildcats play it in deep. Evan Moore after it. Wildcats there first. Near side. Moore plays it high off the wall and clears it. Icing arm is up if that reaches. And we'll bring it back. Good play to clear it out. Wildcats getting a few bounces there, holding it in the zone. Sova, Ethan Sova, the junior forward on the faceoff. Puck played behind the net. Wildcats there first. Tried to center it, knocked down by Quigley. Now played back near side. Wildcats at the wall. Supak pressures. Pass behind the net. Wildcats skate it to the far corner. Pressure by Sova. Now played back to the near side. Supak's going to be there. Supak high off the glass. Bouncing puck. Played by the Mattawan defense. 4.5. Lewandowski with it. Up. Tried to feed a pass out in front. Knocked down by the goalie. Wildcats with possession. Pass to the near side off a skate. Supak with possession. Puts one high into the air. Caught by the Wildcats. Carried in. And picked off by Quigley. Quigley off the near side wall. And into the Mattawan zone. Defenders there. Mattawan carried up. Crosses blue line, red line, and into the Caledonia zone. A shot over the net. All the way to the far side. Held in by the point man. And cleared by Quigley. Icing is waved off. Mattawan retrieves. Pressured by Malem Mikkelsen. Mattawan cycles it back to the far corner. Pressure now by Gorby. High off the glass. Esch catches it. Knocks it down, but played by the Wildcats ahead. Into the Caledonia zone. Wildcats from the wall. A shot saved by Hogue. Mattawan a shot from the point. Goes wide. Bounces to the far side. Point man holds it in. Evan Moore. Gorby in to help. Gorby played it to the near side. Esch. He's hit into the wall. Itel in to help. Wildcats dig after it. Trying to move it out. Itel gets it behind the net for Moore. Moore's pass up for Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen's long range for Esch. Oh, over his stick. Icing's waved off. Esch is after it. In the corner. Leaves it for Gorby. Gorby brings it back to the corner. Esch is there. Feeds a pass out to Itel at the point. Itel off the wall for Esch. Goes off his stick and played by the Wildcats to neutral. Itel, good play there. Knocked down the pass. Fed it back to Moore on the regroup. Moore's pass into neutral zone. Played by Nichols. Drew Nichols. Takes it in wide. Nichols, far side, now behind the net. Now tried to wrap around, goes all the way through to the wall. Bryce Mitchell from the blue line a shot. And we'll get a penalties arms up. A roughing call on Nichols for Caledonia. So with 2:18 left in this first, Nichols sits for 2 minutes. Caledonia back on the penalty kill. Both teams already killed one penalty in the period. Playoff hockey, you want to avoid these situations. On the face-off for Caledonia, Sova. Moore out with him, Supak and Lewandowski. Loose in the feet, played out to the point man, now far side point. The Wildcats now top of the zone, back to the far side, now into the corner with it. A pass on the doorstep, good play by Lewandowski. Loose in the feet, Sova can't clear it. Mattawan whiffs on a shot from the circle, Supak there in the corner, high and dumps it deep. Behind the goal, Mattawan carries it out. Sova lost his stick. Played ahead by the Wildcats into the zone. They'll stop, try to set up the power play. Pass to the near side, bouncing puck. Moore's after it. Pass out to the wall and played by Lewandowski. Lewandowski with speed down low. Lewandowski a shot just wide of net. Sova from the wall in on net, and the goaltender will freeze it and let it go. No whistle there. 1 minute left in the Wildcat power play. Wildcats cycle it in their own zone. Now pass into neutral, connects. Pressuring. Esch. Esch knocks it down. Esch with control in the corner. Harmon Esch brings it out front, looking for Mitchell. He shoots. Oh, and a save by the goaltender. What a save by the Mattawan goaltender. Gavin Weech stoned Bryce Mitchell with his stick. Monster save as Cal face-off won by the Wildcats. Deflected neutral zone. Quigley played ahead by the Wildcats. Behind the net, Itel pressures, now to the far side. Wildcats to the middle, shooting lane, a shot saved by Hogue. 42 seconds left in the period. Cal on the penalty kill, 23 seconds left. Silva on the faceoff. Supak cleared it immediately off the faceoff. Wildcats skate all the way back to retrieve it. Now they collect. Carried through neutral zone with speed. Far side, Supak pressuring. Wildcats behind the net with it. Now to the near side. Into the wall. Lewin pass back to the point. Caledonia back with 5 skaters. Centering pass picked off and carried out by Bultema. Bultema with numbers. Leaves it for Lewandowski. A pass, 5 seconds on the clock. Wildcats can't clear it. And we will end the first with Caledonia leading on the scoreboard 1-0. Second period set to begin. 1-0, your Fighting Scots with the lead. Puck drop played into the Caledonia zone. After it there, in the corner, Supak, Sova, now played out to Lewandowski. Ty Lewandowski chipped around at the red line, played it in deep. Oh, icing whistle. Thought he snuck that in on the offensive side of the red line, but the ref saw otherwise. 16:43. $11-9 us. Comes out Lewandowski in the middle. Oh, for Bultema, went long. Onside though. Bultema chipped in deep. Bultema behind the net. Center for Lewandowski. Couldn't play it. And the Wildcats able to clear it. Quigley to Supak. Bangs it in deep. Cal checks up on the delayed offsides. Goaltender stops it behind the net. We got some wet water behind the net. Got to be careful here early in the period. Sova a shot, and that's going to be gloved by the goaltender. We'll have coincidental minors called here after the play. Some rough housing. Bultema goes for Caledonia. For Mattawan, that is Ryer Mills. Coincidental minor, roughing calls. Face off into the Mattawan zone. Chase Gorby, William Mela Mikkelsen, Harmonesh, Supak, and Quigley. Face off won by the Wildcats. They'll send a long range played by Supak, but left driven in by the Wildcats. Quigley with a stick on it. Wildcats keep possession. Centering pass. Had to play it back behind the net. Now into the corner. Supak moves it to Mikkelsen. Off the wall to neutral zone looking for Esch. Played back to neutral by the Wildcats. Wildcats rush it in. Far side. Down low and on Hogue. Good play by Quigley to prevent any shot. Loose puck played by Esch. Esch fed it to the middle, picked off by the Wildcats. Supak defending, cleared it back to neutral, played in at the red line, knocked down by Gorby, held up there. Supak from the corner, far side for Esch. Esch played it back into the corner for Quigley. Quigley hard around the wall for Mikkelsen. Couldn't control it. Glove down by Supak and he carries it out. Gabe Supak chipped off the glass. Down low with it. Oops, Wildcats take possession in their own zone. Now break it out far side. Wildcats speed it in. Far side, pass it in the middle, connects. Now back near side. Played into the wall. A shot in on Hogue. From the wall is gloved and held for the whistle. So we'll stay 5-on-5. Early in the second period. Puck will come out of the zone. Face off won by the Wildcats. Far side. Played in deep. Giving chase. Evan Moore. Wildcats behind the net. Now to the near side with it. Pass out in front. Stick lifted. Played out to the point man. Far side point. A shot in on Hogue. A save. Moore clears it into the corner. Mitchell couldn't play it out. Held in by the point. Skated top of the circle. A shot. Knocked down. Loose. Mitchell clears the zone. Played back in by the Wildcats. Moore, far side, up the wall for Mitchell. Mitchell deflected, long, played by the Wildcats. Back into the Caledonia zone. Evan Moore gives chase, leaves it in the corner for Nichols. Nichols up the wall for Osborne. Osborne off the wall, looking for Mitchell, picked off by Smilanich, the defender for the Wildcats. His dump in, caught by Moore. Moore played it to the near side. Wildcats take possession. Now played in the corner. Nichols sweeps it behind the net. Nichols with speed carries it up the gut. Drew Nichols. Nichols takes it wide at the wall, pressured. Left it top of the zone. Played out by the Wildcats. Wildcats in down low with it. A shot, and that'll be saved by Sam Hogue. Moore, Landon Moore, Sova, Lewandowski, Supak. Out of the box now is Boltima as well. Supak behind the net for Quigley. Goes long up the wall. Quigley gets it to Landon Moore. Landon clears it. Loose puck near side. Lewandowski carries it in. Pressured by the defense. Goes loose into the corner. Wildcats with a stick on it. Now they carry it out past the neutral zone. Knocked down by Quigley. Kept by the Wildcats. Carried down low. A shot in on Hogue. Saved, and it goes wide. A crash in on net. And we'll get a whistle. Huh? Sova on the draw. Supak with possession behind the net for Quigley. Up the wall for Landon Moore. Landon Moore cross ice for Sova, connects. Sova in the zone. Pass down low for Lewandowski. A chip, and we get a penalty arm up on the Wildcats. As Hogue skates his way to the bench, touched up by the Wildcats, and Caledonia gets a power play early in the second. A hook call on Lewandowski, or Lewandowski being the victim of a hook call to the box for the Wildcats. Goes Nolan Williams, the sophomore defender. So Caledonia with their second power play of the game. Nichols, Mitchell, Esch, Boltima, and Moore. Evan Moore, far side point, gets it to Esch. Esch, top of the circle into the corner for Nichols. Back out to Moore at the point. Moore over for Boltima. Boltima a shot, and that's gloved by the goaltender. Off. Esch with a shot off the face-off, and that's saved and cleared by the Wildcats. They'll dump it in deep, in on Hogue. He'll get a paddle on it and a hold for a whistle. Caledonia power play. Moore, Evan Moore behind his own goal. Leaves it for Mitchell. Mitchell brings it back to Esch behind the net. Harmon Esch, the goal scorer, carries it out. Esch through neutral zone, takes it wide, far side. Esch had it poked off his stick. Wildcats clear it length of the ice. Bryce Mitchell gives chase. Mitchell behind Hogue, pressured by the Wildcats. Up the near wall, cleared the zone. Wildcats with a stick on it. Neutral zone, Mikkelsen gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell retreats in his own zone. Mitchell, dump back in deep. Wildcats with good pressure on the penalty kill. Moore's pass out for Lewandowski. Ty Lewandowski takes it in the zone. Try to fed a pass over for Sova, knocked down into the corner. Behind the net, Wildcats with possession up the near wall. Backhand, knocked down, one-on-one. They've got some numbers here. Down low, a pass in the middle. Good back check there by Sova. Cleared it into the wall. 30 seconds left in the Caledonia power play. Sova, puck loose, Wildcats with possession. Skated up the wall, now they'll take it back to neutral zone. Wildcats all the way back behind their net. 15 seconds left in the power play, knocked down by Sova. He can't dump it in, played out by the Wildcats into the Caledonia zone. Down low with it, in on Hogue, save. Now Cal carries out, Supak rushes it ahead. Supak in the middle of shot, save, rebound, and another save by the goaltender. Cal with possession, trying to center it, knocked down by the Wildcats, loose on the side of the net. Wildcats send it high off the glass far side. Supak with a stick on it and played out into the player bench. So the Wildcats kill their second penalty kill of the game. Back to 5-on-5 with 10:26 left in the second period. Ultima out with Nichols, Landon Moore, Evan Moore, and Itel. A shot in from mid-ice, settled down and left for Moore. Played back to Landon Moore, far side. Landon Moore up off the glass, loose for Bultima. Bultima, loose puck, he's got it, centered it for Nichols, picked off by the Wildcats. They'll play it to neutral. Wildcats 3-on-2, played into the far wall, off of Evan Moore's skate. Landon Moore after the loose puck. Landon Moore sends it length of the ice, and we'll get a whistle for icing. Ash Mikkelsen, Gorby up top, Itel and Evan Moore on defense. Face off in the corner, Evan Moore played it up the wall. Wildcats there, played back behind the net. Evan Moore plays it through near side. That's going to come out of the zone. Lucas Smilanich, the defender for the Wildcats. Pass far side, D to D. Now dumped back near side. That should be an icing whistle. And we'll bring it to the Wildcats zone for an offensive zone pull. Supak comes out with Quigley on defense. Face off, Esch with it. Fed a pass back to Supak at the point. Supak to Esch behind the end line. Esch into the far corner with it. Up the wall, pressured in his pocket. Wildcats loosen it up. Comes out to neutral zone. Gorby off the wall for Quigley. Loosen the feet. Wildcats send it back. Picked off by Supak. Gives it up for Mikkelsen. Doesn't get it in the zone on side, and we'll get a whistle for offsides. Sova, Lewandowski, and Bultima up top. Wildcats drive it in. Shot wide of Hogue. Loose puck far wall. Wildcats played it back behind the net. They have possession in the corner. Quigley with a stick on it. Sova there. Plays it around the wall. Wildcats there. Played behind the net. Quigley after it. Far corner. In the feet He's tied up. Wildcats take it away. Centering pass knocked down. Loose on the near side. Wildcats take possession. Now a shot in from the circle. Save. Hogue. Cal clears the zone. Mattawan from neutral zone. Keeps possession. Now carried it in. Carried it far side. A shot in on Hogue. Saved. Puck loose near side. Mattawan holds it in. Now cleared out. Pass out for Lewandowski. Jumping puck. He's got it. Tried to center it. Knocked down. Ultima behind the net. Played out. Icing waved off. Hogue's going to get a stick on it. Hogue sends it around to the wall for Sova. Sova's pass far side for Esch. Esch settles at top of the zone. Back over for Sova. Sova behind the end line. Tried to center it off the side of the net. And the Wildcats clear it, but in on Hogue. Hogue sends a pass through the air looking for Esch. Played, bouncing into the Wildcat zone. They can't clear it. Bryce Mitchell with a stick on it. He's put in the wall. Loose for Esch. Esch behind the end line. Tried to center it for Mitchell. He scores! Bryce Mitchell with a pass from Harmon Esch. And Caledonia extends the lead 2-0. Let me get that Mattawan goal off the board.
He's got a hell of a run. They put him up on Harmon's line and made it.
Oh, what a goal, what a goal. Bryce Mitchell, the sophomore forward. Evan Moore has it lost in the corner but played out top of the zone. Wildcats go D-to-D in neutral. Now dump it back in deep behind Hogue. Itel roughed into the wall. Puck played into the wall. Now played back far side point man. Esch with a stick on it. Mattawan played it in deep near side corner. Skated up the wall. Oh, a shot in on Hogue. He saves it. Into the corner. Esch now played around the wall hard. Mattawan defender holds it in. Mattawan behind the net, center to pass out to the point man, a shot, saved by Hogue, rebound save, another save, and he holds for the whistle. Sam Hogue lost his stick on the first save and then made two more about 5 feet outside of the blue circle. Big stops there by the senior goaltender, up for Goaltender of the Year awards, and would be well deserved. Mattawan takes possession, they dump it in deep, after it Quigley. Mattawan pressures, they take possession. Shot from the side of the net, deflected near side wall. Sova methodically makes his way out of the zone, but picked off by the Wildcats and dumped in deep. Hogue with the stick on it for Quigley. Loose behind the net. Wildcats with possession. Pass out to the point man. Shot in on Hogue, a save, and cleared by the defense. Lewandowski with the Jets, but puck crosses the goal line for icing. Evan Moore clears the zone. Mattawan defense takes possession, D-to-D near side. Now back towards the Caledonia zone, dumped in, knocked down by Itel. He clears it, bouncing puck into the Wildcat zone. Defender there, cleared back to neutral zone. Mattawan in the zone, at the wall, Itel into the corner. Mattawan now behind the net, puck loose, Osborne pushes it into the corner. Pass out in front, one-timer knocked down by Gorby. No, that's Jagger Burns. Burns takes the loose puck and dumps it in. Offsides whistle. Really? Tape delay. Cal wins the draw. Quigley with a shot on net, saved by the goaltender. Into the corner, centers it for Lewandowski all the way through. Supak from the point position. Supak played it towards net, deflected just wide of net. Puck played around. Wildcats pushed in the corner. Lewandowski, nice move behind the net. He's got it. Pressured by the Wildcats. Held in the corner. Lewandowski played it behind the net for Sova. Charging after it, far corner. Wildcats there. Sova ties it up. Puck loose. Quigley deflected towards the middle. Wildcats turn and burn for the icing call. Following this game, we've got Byron Center. You can see the team walking in there in the distance. They will play the Granville Bulldogs in the other regional semifinal. Harmon Esch, nice moves behind the net. He's held, no call. Mitchell with the puck, sends it to Supak at the point. Supak a shot wide, loose on the far wall, and cleared by the Wildcats. Icing arms up, and we'll bring it back. Hey, all day. Gorby Mikkelsen up top. And Burns, Jagger Burns. Moore and Itel on defense. Itel holds it in, bouncing puck played by the Wildcats. Now far side bouncing puck. Evan Moore gives chase. Moore with possession. Into Hogue with it. But gets it to the back wall. Centering pass played by the Wildcats. A shot goes wide. Itel, but tried to bang it out. Bouncing puck, cleared by Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen gets around the defender, has it down low, a shot in on net, saved by the goaltender. Mikkelsen gets it back. Mikkelsen centered it. Oh, couldn't find a shooter, and the Wildcats carry it out. Chipped around Itel, played behind the net. Evan Moore chipped into the corner. Mikkelsen off the wall, played by the Wildcats, back in deep. They got to check up on the delayed offsides. Evan Moore with possession. Moore, long range pass. Oh, just out of the reach of Lewandowski. And we'll get a whistle for icing. Packed house here at Griff's. Good fan support by both schools. Sova on the draw. Won by the Wildcats. Pass out of the zone. They'll have to regroup on the delayed offsides. They do that. Quigley after the loose puck. Pressured. He goes down. Wildcats with it down low. A pass out on top, and they score. Mattawan gets on the board here in the second period. A turnover in the zone and a bang-bang pass in front. Caledonia with possession. Sova carries it down low. A shot. George Nolte on the goal for the Wildcats. Their leading scorer. Caledonia, though, with possession. Sova at the blue line, carries it in, and we're going to whistle for offsides. So a big goal by the Wildcats here late in the second. Gives them some life. Caledonia has to respond. Played in deep. After it, the Wildcats and Esch around the wall. Supak at the blue line. Played out by the Wildcats. Into the far side. Nichols pressuring. Deep into the corner. Now behind the net. Wildcats keep possession up the wall. Now pass back to the point. A shot by Smilanich. Deflected wide. Wildcats hold it in. Shot in on Hogue. Cleared by Quigley. Quigley behind the net for Supak. Less than 2 minutes left in the period. Pushed out to neutral zone. Nichols tried to move it out for Esch. Bouncing puck. Esch after it. Harmon Esch at the back wall. Puck played out by the Wildcats. Bryce Mitchell with possession. Moves it to Supak. Supak played it back to neutral. Picked off by the Wildcats. They keep possession. Wildcats down low. A shot saved by Hogue. Far corner. Boltema off the glass and into neutral zone. Played back by the Wildcats. Mitchell tried to feed Boltema. Now Supak at the red line. Played by Quigley, bouncing puck near side. Down to a minute left in the second. Supak played it to the far corner. Quigley tied up, gets it back. Quigley clears the zone. Mattawan stops it at the red line, dumps it in on Hogue, a bouncing puck. Played by Sova. Sova to the near side wall for Lewandowski. Lewandowski around the defender. Into the corner. Wildcats play it through far side corner. Now skated out far side. Pressured by Itel. Wildcats in the corner. Pass out top of the circle. Carried back in behind the net. Now a pass played out by Boltema. Wildcats play it right back. Bouncing puck. Evan Moore with a stick on it. Cleared to neutral. Wildcats with possession. Back in the zone. They bring it. Pass into the middle. A shot. And that's saved by Hogue. Esch. Corby out on the face-off, puts it in the corner. Evan Moore played in the corner. Now behind the net, Evan Moore with possession, 5 seconds on the clock, puts it off the glass, and that bounces deep into the Mattawan zone. And we'll get a buzzer for the end of the second period. Mattawan gets a goal late. Cal gets one midway through, and they hold on to a 2-1 lead as we go to the third period. All right, welcome back. We are ready to start the third and final regulation period in the first of two regional semifinals here in West Michigan. Mattawan with the win, a shot in on Hogue, he gloves it, and he'll hold for a whistle. Two to 1 your score. Caledonia leads. Bryce Mitchell with a goal in the second period. Harmon Esch started the game scoring in the first. Puck played far side. Quigley high off the wall, bouncing into neutral zone. Played ahead by Boltema. Boltema takes it in the corner. Tried to center it. Knocked down by the Wildcat defense. Boltema keeps it. Goes loose in the middle. Lewandowski tried to get it to Sova. Picked off by the Wildcats. Wildcats into the Caledonia zone. Shot in on Hogue. Saved. Goes loose, far wall. Wildcats play it in deep, in on Hogue, and he'll use the trapper to hold for the whistle. Mitchell, Esch, Nichols, Evan Moore, and Aiden Itel on defense. Face off, won by the Wildcats, shot off a skate, another one deflected behind the net. Harmon Esch on the near wall, played it to the corner. Moore chipped it. Mattawan played it back behind the net. Nichols with a hit. Puck played to the far side. Mitchell holds it at the wall. Mattawan down low with it. It goes loose to Esch. Harmon Esch, cross ice pass for Mitchell, played by the Wildcats. Now to the near side. Mitchell gets a stick on it. Offsides delayed. Gives Mattawan some time. Played out at the blue line. Mattawan played it ahead into the Caledonia zone for Supak. Supak, a high in the air pass, bounces on the tape for Nichols, a delayed offsides. Mattawan played it back, bouncing puck neutral zone. Esch picks it up. Esch, a couple of moves, but taken away by the Wildcats. Held in by Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen at the wall to Esch. Esch gets driven into the corner, puck into the feet. Esch after it. Mikkelsen after it, behind the net. Mikkelsen played it off the back wall to the far corner. Mikkelsen's pass back to the point. Quigley over for Supak, held in the zone, nicely using the skates. Tried to dump it in deep. Mattawan gloved it down. Gorby knocks it down. Supak held it in. Played towards the middle, picked up by the Wildcats and dumped deep. Icing whistle will drain the clock to catch up. Face off Gorby, played by Landon Moore. Landon Moore into the wall, picked off by the Cats, and now driven into the Caledonia zone. Supak pressured. Puck played behind the net. Quigley, far side, up the wall for Landon Moore. He'll clear the zone. Wildcats there, but played by Osborne. Penalty whistle. Caledonia goes to the box. Mattawan back on the power play. So Mattawan gets a power play here early in the third. Down 2-1. Sova on the faceoff. Lewandowski, Moore, and Supak, the penalty killers. A wraparound save by Hogue. Cal can't clear it. Mattawan holds it in. Far side point. A shot saved. Rebound cleared by Moore. Bouncing puck into the corner. Moore on the tie-up. Stuck in the feet. Mattawan carries it out. Now plays it behind the net. Back to the near side. Back to the far side. Behind the goal. Off the back of the net. Mattawan with possession. Now skated out. Shot, save, Hogue. Mattawan with the rebound. Behind the goal, far side. Now pass to the face-off dot. Now back to the end line. Behind the net, pass. Centered. Knocked down by Moore. He puts a backhand, clears the zone. After it is Sova. Ethan Sova chases it down. At the back wall. Tried to center it, knocked down. And the Wildcats carry it ahead. Wildcats take it to the far side. Supak pressuring, a pass down low. Rebound, Moore with a stick on it. Supak pushed it in the corner, now played back behind the net by the Cats. Pass out in front, save, Hogue, puck straight up in the air. Into the corner, Wildcats, up the wall, pass back to the point. Now back to the far side, into the corner, behind the net. Pass to the point, top of the circle, in on Hogue, and he gloves it for the whistle. Cal gets some fresh legs out with 28 seconds left in the penalty kill. Esch, Mitchell, Itel and Quigley. Face off tied up into the ref's skates. Esch with a stick on it. Can't clear it. Held in at the point. Played in the corner. After it is Quigley. Quigley with a stick on it up the wall for Mitchell. Mitchell can't clear it. Wildcats at the wall. Quigley with a stick on it. Mitchell clears the zone. The Wildcats take possession though. Mitchell holds it there. Hey! Caledonia gets their fifth skater back. Delayed offsides. Esch takes possession. Pass in the middle. Played by Nichols. Dumped in deep. Goaltender settles it. Mitchell's there. Mitchell takes it away in the corner. Centers it for Esch. A shot off the side of the goaltender. Out to the far side point. Quigley plays it in deep. Wildcats go D to D behind their own net in the corner. Pass up the far wall, deflected to neutral zone. They get around the defender. Mattawan down low with it. Good stick lift by the defense, and the offensive player falls into the net for the whistle. Referees discussing, I think, where the face-off should be on that whistle. They'll move it out of the zone. Sova on the draw. Lewandowski, Boltema, Supak, and Quigley. Face off, dumped by Mattawan, picked up by Sova. Played it back to the near side. Dumped in deep by the Wildcats. Hogue settles it for Quigley. Quigley high around the glass for Boltema. Boltema tried to chip it out. Gets it back. Ryland Boltema. Now a pass long for Sova. Sova leaves it for Lewandowski. Lewandowski into the corner. He's pushed into the wall. Wildcats get some help. Pass off Boltema's skate. Played back behind the net for Lewandowski. Wildcats there. Now the Wildcats carry it into the Caledonia zone. Pass to the near side. Pass down low. In on Hogue. And he'll hold for the whistle. D-zone draw into Hogue. He holds for the whistle. Mitchell, Esch, Nichols, Evan Moore, and Itel on defense. Face off won by the Wildcats. Shot goes long, or goes wide. Puck played to the wall. Played by Caledonia. Esch can't clear it. Shot in on Hogue. Settles it for Moore. Cal on the breakout. Long pass off Esch's stick. Played back to neutral zone. Mattawan carries it in wide. Now centers a pass. Connected. Shot deflected by Hogue into the back netting. Mattawan with possession in the corner, played back behind the net. Supak high off the glass, bouncing puck held in by the Mattawan point man. From the wall, pass far side. Wildcats to the top of the zone, pass picked off by Sova. Sova skates it out, far side, crosses the red line, dumps it in. Puck comes all the way out. Mattawan carries it back in. Supak pressuring, Mattawan down at the end line. Puck played into the corner. Wildcats, big hit by Quigley, but the Wildcats maintain possession. A pass through the crease goes all the way through. A point shot goes wide. Supak with a stick on it, off the glass. Deflected into neutral zone for Lewandowski. Cal has numbers. Lewandowski back. Oh, a one-timer. Couldn't handle. And Wildcats dump it deep. We'll get a whistle for icing. Osborne out with Gorby, Mikkelsen, Evan Moore, and Itel. Face off, played by the Wildcats. Put up through the air, but held in. Now the Wildcats move it out. Couldn't get a pass off. Now they collect and carry it in. A shot, knocked down to the point though. Whiffed on a shot. Played by Osborne, clears the zone. Cross ice. Itel with a stick on it. Itel off the glass for Mikkelsen. Mikkelsen fed it to Gorby. Gorby carries it in. Pass for Osborne goes long. Osborne at the wall. He gets pushed into the wall. Back on his feet. Puck loose far side. Itel chips it through the air. Held in the zone. Mikkelsen with a stick on it. Pass for Osborne. Picked off by the Wildcats. Dumped in. Itel catches. Sends it near side. Wildcats dump it in. Itel behind the net. Hard around the wall. Wildcat point man will hold it. Gets it back to the wall. Bouncing puck. Osborne disrupts. Played down low on Hogue, and he's going to hold for the whistle. Rolling puck in on Hogue. Esch, Osborne, Nichols, Supak, and Mitchell. Sorry, Quigley out, not Osborne. Moved ahead by Nichols. Pushed into the wall, but dumped it in deep. Bryce Mitchell after it. Into the corner for Nichols. Nichols banged it around the net. Esch there. Played into the corner. Mitchell after it. Bouncing puck. Wildcats clear. Dumped in deep. Quigley pressures. Into the corner. Mitchell with a stick on it. Into the feet. Now moved out. Mitchell. Played by the Wildcats. Picked off by Supak. And he'll clear the zone. Wildcats take possession though. Right at the red line. Driven back in. Loose puck. Wildcats shot. And that's going to be caught by Hogue. Face off, Supak behind the net. Quigley far side, up the wall. Lewandowski can't handle it. Point man played it in deep, deflected. Supak hard off the glass for Bultema. Can't clear the zone. Bounces behind the net. Supak again. Feathers it back near side for Quigley. Bultema hard around the wall, far side. Mattawan's point man holds it in. Loose puck. Supak played it for Sova. Sova patiently takes it. A hit at the wall, but dumps it in. Wildcats in the corner. Wildcats move it up the wall. Bultema pressuring. Wildcats carry it in. Ooh, lost an edge, but Lewandowski's there trying to find Sova. And we'll get a whistle for icing. Mitchell, Nichols, Esch up front. Moore and Itel on defense. Mattawan shot, knocked down, and played out by Nichols. Bouncing puck into the Wildcat zone. Esch right on it. Harmon Esch from the corner. Wildcats, though, able to keep possession. Pass played nicely by Nichols. Mattawan clears it, though. Moore with a stick on it. Mattawan takes it back. Big hit by Esch. Mitchell carries it in. Has his pass knocked down. Wildcats dig it out. 3-on-2, Wildcats on the near side. Now a pass down low, in on Hogue, and he'll hold for a whistle. Right. D-zone draw. Ethan Sova played it in the wall for Moore. Moore got it to Sova. Sova harder on the wall. Mattawan's point man holds it in. Now played out by Sova, moves it up for Lewandowski. Lewandowski, a delayed call, shot by Boltima over the net. A penalty whistle on Mattawan, and we get the play blown dead. To the box goes Nolan Williams, his second penalty of the game. 5:35 left in the third, and Cal on the one-man advantage. Cal with a timeout. They want to talk this over, a big moment in the game.
On the ice, timeout, Caledonia. Mattawan penalty at 11:25 of the third period.
All right, Caledonia power play. Sova, Osborne, Mikkelsen, Mela Mikkelsen, Lewandowski, and Supak. Puck played behind the net. Wildcats with possession. They put it through the air. Knocked down by Sova at the red line. Sova carries it in. Ethan Sova shot knocked down. Rebound. Osborne goes wide. Sova behind the net, feeds a pass to Supak. Oh, leaks out of the zone. Gabe Supak, pass over near side for Lewandowski. Back to Supak. Supak, pass over out of the reach of Lewandowski, but Osborne has it at the blue line. Or I'm sorry, that's Sova. Sova carried it, takes a hit at the blue. Wildcats had it picked off by Supak. Can't dump it in. Bouncing puck goes in. Wildcats dump it deep. Hogue settles it. Mikkelsen on it. Leaves it for Lewandowski, the speedster. Lewandowski skates it out of the zone. Lewandowski has it pulled away at the wall. Wildcats send it deep. Rylan Boltima behind Hogue. Boltima carries it out. Now a pass far side for Esch. Esch. Near side for Moore. Moore pulls it back, then gets it to Esch. Esch, cross ice on the tape for Nichols. Ooh, puck goes loose to the back wall. Nichols. Mattawan breaks it out far side. Penalty whistled on Baltimore for holding. 3:55 left in the game. 4-on-4 for 20 seconds. And then Mattawan will go on a one-man advantage. Lewandowski, Moore, Silva, and Osborne. Timeout whistle on Mattawan, by Mattawan. All right, 4-on-4 for 20 seconds. Supak behind the net, high off the glass, and that goes out of play. Yep. Silva wins the draw to Moore, sends it deep. And icing whistle on the 4-on-4. Off played far side. Mattawan holds it in the zone. Near side shot, knocked down by Silva. Silva, slap shot, that'll clear the zone. Caledonia now on a penalty kill. Mattawan carries it in. Far side, now deep. Down low in on Hogue, a shot, save. Rebound, save by Hogue, and he holds it for the whistle. .3:17 left in the game. Cal leads 1-0 by 1 goal. Me too.
It's a smart play.
It's 1 goal. You already have an advantage, though. Face-off comes out of the zone. Mattawan on the 5-on-4 for 1:23. Mitchell comes out, Lewandowski, Esch, Evan Moore, and Supak. Esch on the face-off. Cal will try to kill a penalty here. Mattawan with possession at mid-ice. Pressure by Mitchell. Mattawan D-to-D in their own zone. Now carried out. Pass back into the middle. Into the Caledonia zone. Top of the circle. Mitchell, pressure, pass to the point. Down low, a shot, save. Hogue, rebound, stuffed, and put into the corner. And cleared loose for Esch. Harmon Esch gives chase. Esch down low, had it pushed into the back wall. Loose puck, played by the Wildcats. Wildcats cross the red line, blue line, top of the circle. Down low with it, behind the net. They'll try to set something up. Pass back behind the net, now back to the near side. Out in front, a shot in on Hogue, he holds. Nope, it's loose. Loose in the feet. And net comes off for the whistle. 25 seconds left on the penalty kill. 2:20 on the game clock. Got to think at some point here, Mattawan's going to empty their net, get an extra skater out. Some may do it now, so they'd have a 6-on-4 advantage, but giving up that goal, an empty netter, would be devastating. Mattawan wins the draw back out to the point. Now pass far side point. Back to the middle. A shot on the doorstep, or a pass on the doorstep, deflected. Mattawan with possession, behind the net. They play catch with it behind the net, far side. Pass out to the face-off dot. A shot, cleared by Lewandowski, and that's going to do it for the penalty kill as Ultima joins play. 2 minutes. Ultima right on the puck. Mattawan carries it out into neutral zone. Mattawan down low with it. Quigley pressures, centering pass into the feet, played by the Wildcats, deflected out. Empty net on the Wildcat side. So a 6-on-5 advantage for them. Wildcats in their own zone. Puck played loose into the wall. Quigley, now after it's Supak. Supak turns, his shot knocked down, gets it back, high off the glass. That'll clear the zone. Icing is waved off. Puck played to the back wall, 1:10 left in the game. Wildcats cycle, now carry it out. Wildcats through mid-ice. Wildcats now into the Caledonia zone, behind the end line. Pass out to the point man. Now back to the doorstep, goes into the wall. Loose for Mitchell, he's got it, Bryce Mitchell. Cross for Nichols. Nichols from the red line, shot, oh, just wide. Icing's waved off, Mitchell shoots, oh, he can't bury it. Comes out to neutral zone, Esch. Bouncing puck, played by the Wildcats. Wildcats down low, a shot in on Hogue, and he holds for the whistle. .30 seconds left in the game. What an opportunity there by Caledonia, couldn't find the empty net. And Sam Hogue holds strong. Face-off comes out of the zone. We'll see if Mattawan puts their goaltender back there. Six on five, Mattawan keeps their extra skater out, empty net. Ash, Sova, Nichols, Supak, and Quigley. Face off won by Cal. Esch kicks it ahead, Harmon Esch into the zone. Goaltender's in net, I didn't notice, he came back. But Esch slid it back out in front, goes into the corner, 26 seconds on the clock, 24. Goaltender pushes it into the corner. Mattawan carries it out. Goaltender comes off. Puck down low. Mattawan played out. Caledonia clears the zone. Esch has it. Empty net. He's going to carry it in. He scores! Harmon Esch ends the game. Zeros on the clock. And Caledonia survives the regional semifinal. They move on to play again next Wednesday, right back here at Griff's in the regional final.
Number 6 is Harmon Esch. to the T1.